Well. Hello everyone. There we are. Back again for the Monday marathon session. (18 or 16 people in the server. Oh. 90 minutes of Silverstone today. Qualifying should start in just a minute. (16 people in the server, 15 people driving, I think, as we have Marcibella here in the Bentley, who will be doing the race control for today, so he probably won't be driving. As we see Ricky Lane, the BMW, going a little bit slowly, but he's back underway. As here we have Nick Ice in the Lizard Racing team car. 17 people in the server now. Hello. How are you? I hope the sound and everything is oh, hello Marcy. We see you here in the pit lane. Hope sound and everything is alright. I haven't changed anything since the last time, so it should be good, but of course I don't know. You are, yeah. Sounds good, that's great. That is great. As we have here Fiesta Bonanza currently in P2. 3/10 of Cameras in P1, Cameras in the Mercedes. Normally he drives the McLaren, so that's a bit of a change for him. As the quali has started, and it is raining. It is officially raining. Less than 10 minutes of rain as it stands now. But that does make things really interesting. And Bonanza looking to be the first one out, gets beaten by the number 14, Gale. Oh. Gale is on slicks. And Bonanza is on wets, which is probably the better choice with a full wet track, as an 18th person has joined the race. Everyone's slowly going out on the track now to try and get a feel of the weather. This guy is driving without a wiper. Must be some sort of glitch, I hope. Gale has found his wiper, but is alongside the track. And oof, who do I think will take pole position? Well, I mean, if you were driving, I would have said you, but you're not driving, so that makes it a lot more difficult. I think Bruno has a really good chance at pole. He's been practicing a bit. Lap times that I saw from him were pretty good, pretty amazing. I just don't really know how he is in the rain, so that might be a bit difficult. But I think Bruno is definitely a contender for pole today. Just watching along from the inside. Visibility is still pretty okay. It's light rain now, so it should be getting drier any minute. Ooh. That was a Porsche alongside the track. What happened to him? Went into the grass, lost the rear end. Kept it out of the wall. Yeah, that's yeah. Clarence still in the pits. Ice is out there in the Lizard Racing Team Lamborghini. He is pretty fast too, so yeah, he might be able to do something. A really good sounding car, the Lamborghini. Also, this Mercedes, driven by cameras, just sounds really well. Sounds really nice. A bit that deeper growling tone. Really like that. As I think that Fiesta Bonanza will be the first one to set a lap time, but I'm not 100% sure. We will take a look in a few moments time. Let's see if he's on a valid lap, yes or no. Cuts across the curb, shortest line to the line, no valid lap time from him. As the first lap is set by Ice. Fastest time a 2-minute 8.5, with Marty Fox only 8 tenths behind that. Again, watching along with Gale. Seems to be on a valid lap. Let's see if he can do something here. As Gale goes to P3 in the times. Ice currently on a 1 second improvement going into. Bruno goes fastest. It will be interesting, yes. It will. I am really excited to see if the track will get dry, or at least close to dry. It should stop raining any minute now. The track is currently damp, so they are driving it clean. So we might get some dry tires near the end of the session. as Ice is still on a big improvement going to, I forgot the name of the corner, I think it's Brooklands. 1.3 seconds up on his time, 1.2 for pole position, 1.4 up on his time. Can he keep this through the last corner of the lap? Yes, he can. 1.5 seconds up on his time. That should be enough for pole position. As it is. Mari parking the cars. Same goes for Gale. That's a bit of a dangerous place, but he gets it out of the way on time. As Bruno is 5 tenths up on his time. Let's see if he can do anything in these last few corners going to the line. He needs 3 tenths, he is 8 tenths up almost. So yes, he will get something that way. As he gets pole position by 4.5 tenths of a second. Gale has spun it again. Gale has tried it on dry tires as the rain has stopped. Clarence to P2. One tenth faster than Ice and 3.5 tenths slower than Bruno at this point. Clarence is on the wet tires. I think wet tires are still the best tires to be on. As Florian, also on wets, has just set his first time. Good enough for P5. And Ice is alongside the track, and I think he will be going for slicks. He will try it for the last, yes. He has slicks on the car for the last 10 minutes of the race. I think Cameras will do the same thing. As Gale is on the slicks and goes out of the pit lane. So let's take a look at Gale and see how he does on these slick tires on the damp track. Furiously warming his tires. Wiggling the car left to right there. Let's see how much work he needs to do on that steering wheel to keep the car pointing in the right direction. Weaving, trying to get some temperature into these cold slicks. Hello Tony. Welcome to the street. Snap of oversteer there, another one. Which just shows how dangerous it still is on those slick tires. Oh, hello Luke. Don't you need to work? Yes. Quick question. Ask. Please. The McLaren is quite loud, so that might be it. Was? I'd say ask your dad, he knows exactly how it went. I can tell you, it wasn't great. He knows the story. It needs some explaining, so I will do that later, or you need to ask your dad because he knows. As we see Julian Bignon next to the track again. He isn't having a great time. These people out on slicks are struggling a bit. No, there wasn't really more to it. No. Good luck working. Have fun, of course. Have fun working. Oh. And Gale struggling on those dry tires, it seems. Let's see, I think ice was also on dries. Looks like it, yes. And I don't see any obvious improvements. I do see a little bit of an improvement from Florian, but he goes deep and parks his car. As Carl goes into the pits, KL. No obvious improvements. The only small one I see is from Marty, who gets past past ice. Marty currently 6 stands up on his time, which would get him to P4. Marty looks to be on the wet still, as I see no yellow markers on the side of his tires. 7th ends up. .2 ends up. Let's have a look how he takes the final 2 corners, as he's doing really well. 1.2 seconds would put him in P2 maybe even, as Bruno has set a hell of a lap time, which I missed. 1.1 second off, losing a little bit of time to the line, and he goes to P2. Marty Fox goes to P2. Wow. Straight on boxing for, I'm guessing, the dries. As we see another improvement here from Roger Dat. Well, Roger Dat. He is 7/10 up on his time, which would put him into P8 at this point. So let's see what he can do. Yeah, it's pretty cloudy, and at this point only, what is it, 14 cars driving on the track, so I'm guessing the track just isn't drying fast enough. Oh, well, speaking of that, we have 16 cars on track now, and some yellows. As we're still watching Roger Dat, still improving on his time. He is on the slicks, it seems like, and he is 1.2 seconds up, so maybe the slicks are getting better and better at this point. And everyone who has a little bit of temperature in the slicks might be able to do something really beautiful here. 1.3 seconds up on his time, losing a bit on the exit. Hello. Hello. As Roger Dat, damn track, yes. It's slowly getting drier and drier. Roger Dat goes to P7. Florian also on a good improvement, 1.4 seconds, 1.4 seconds up on his time, which would put him in a very clean P2 position, but no one is able to get close to Bruno at this point. Airplane. Finally, finally end of your holiday. It's amazing timing. It's the end of your holiday. You go away from the Netherlands again, and Florian Brown puts it on P2. Nice. But you go out of the Netherlands again, and it's getting sunny and 30 degrees Celsius this weekend. The Netherlands doesn't like you. Marcy is not doing a last to first. Marcy is doing a stewarding session today. Yeah, thank you for taking the bad weather with you. Really appreciate it, and I'd love to see you back in the rig again. As we are nearing the end of the session, everyone who crosses the line now is on their last lap. Bruno's just about to start his last lap on the dry tires. Let's see if he can do something. Not a lot of people out on the track actually. That kind of surprises me. Bit loose on the rear coming into Koop's corner. I honestly don't think he's under any threat. The only... Nope. Bella is in the Bodley, but Bella is also the stewarding today, so he won't be driving. He will be making sure that everyone is driving nice and clean. As we see Ice going faster and faster, 1.3 seconds up on his time. He needs 1.7 for pole position, 1.5 seconds up on his time as he goes a little bit deep there. That will cost him a little bit of time. Can he still take pole position, or will it be P2 for him? At this point he takes P2, but of course he would like that P1. But he needs to do a little bit more for that. He's currently looking to get P3. Lost a bit of time into the couple of corners which I don't know the name of. Very strong start to the lap, but lost it all here. A bit of a moment on the exit as he has thrown the lap away basically. Only 3/10 up on this time will be good enough for P3. As the next one to cross the line will be Davidenko. No time yet. Goes to P17 still. Then we got Bruno, not improving, but also no need to improve, since he has a very comfortable pole position by 9/10 of a second. Gil also doesn't seem to be improving, as he indeed isn't. Camaras 1/10 improvement, stays P6. Roger that 1.8 improvement, 1.7 goes P3. Wow. And Mensik, I'm guessing he will be the last one to cross the line. Yes, he should be the last one to cross the line. No time set yet, currently P15. Let's see what he can do here. P3. So as Clarence is telling Bruno that it would be a shame if his engine blows up mid-race. It would be a shame if that happens, but it would also be, yeah, Bruno, basically. It happens more often to him than he would like. But yes, it is an incredible lap by Bruno. Set in worse conditions than the rest of the laps. But he's still done it. Quick rundown of the starting grid. We have 15 cars starting this race, as we have of course Marcy Bella teleporting to the pits and stewarding this race. The track is green, and for the coming 15 minutes there won't be any rain, but that might change. On pole position we have Bruno Longoria, who had a gap of almost a second to P2, which is taken by Florian Braun, but an amazing lap from him. Still only just good enough for P2. Mensik came closer. There's a one and only lap, but got P3. Roger that someone who is someone I don't know, but he has put it on P4 with a really decent lap. Ice on P5, Fox on P6, Clarence P8, Cameras P9, and Jason McDowell on P9. Cameras P8. I skipped something there, I think. McDowell on P9, Gale on P10, Mignon on P11, which is still decent with how many times I saw him off the track. Bonanza P12, KL P13, Emanuele Biondo is in P14. Marcy will be stewarding, so he will be leaving the grid soon. And Davidenko is in P15, since Marcy will be going to the pits, as he has done. Start of our last corner formation lap, really last corner, and we are already on the start grid. KL in the OnlyFans livery, did I miss that? No, it looks like it. It looks like it. I would have recognized that. As it's green, green, green for the 90 minutes of Silverstone. Florian with a good start going around the outside of Bruno in Kops, makes it stick. Bruno really conservative there, as we see Roger that also looking for a gap. Same for Mensik, not finding it. Marty Fox up into P5, but Florian Braun up into P1 of the start. With an amazing start, no big incidents. I think we have Bonanza with damage, so there was an incident. Let's see, I will try and get a replay of that soon, as there's more fighting going on, as Bruno has taken the lead back again. I will try and get a quick replay of that, just slipstream going into Stoke corner. Does he do it around the outside? Yes, he does. Wow. Amazing move done by Bruno, as currently Florian and Mensik are fighting. Looks pretty. Ooh, 3 wide. Wow. There's too much going on as Cameras is off the track. Does he make a safe rejoin? Yes, he does. as we see another three-way battle for P12, that is, as Julian Bignon goes a little wide. Davidenko up to P13, looking for a move at KL for P12. As we have Bruno still in front and almost a second clear already. Florian Brown, P2, Mensik gained one position and went to P3. Oh no, he stayed on the same position. Absolutely, Roger that. P4. Marty gained one position on on ice. Same goes for Clarence, as there's a 5-second time penalty for car number 16. It's a lot happening. The Lamborghini of Biondo got a 5-second time penalty, which is for an incident, but there was also an incident between these two Porsches, which are currently fighting, so I will stay here quickly. As Bonanza tries it around the outside of Stowe, doesn't make it stick, went a little too deep there, so Bignon can stay in front as he outbrakes himself a little bit there, searching for a gap behind KL to get through, not making it so far. As we will be going to a quick replay of this starting incident, which gave Bonanza a lot of damage. Yes, that is a very clear penalty. As there's another incident for car 21, which was also involved in that starting incident, as Mensik is looking for a gap at Florian. Not finding it so far. There's a lot going on here. Everyone is still really close together. Bruno is pushing away a bit, as Marty seems to be looking for an overtake, or at least putting the pressure on Roger Dead. And Florian has made a mistake. Mensik looks around the outside for Maggots, and Baggots backs out of it. Probably the smart move there, especially at the start of this race, since it is a pretty long race. It's a long way to go still. But he is searching for a gap, trying it around the outside, maybe at Stowe corner. Doesn't make it stick, still looking there, not a lot of space to go. Again looking around the outside. Roger that defending the inside, doing well so far. But look at this train, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars really close, as Marty Fox has a bit of a moment which might give the run to Clarence, who is again right behind that. No time to breathe for the drivers in this train, or for me at this point. Clarence taking a bit of a different line, looking for a gap and to put some pressure on Marty Fox. As we... Ooh, that's an incident. Did that happen by himself, or was he helped? Nope, he fully did that himself. That is unfortunate. Kept it out of the wall though, but he has damaged his tires with that. Marty, of course, with his bright purple wheels, easy recognizable on the track that way. As this is some nice train driving, you could say. It's a bit of a train of cars. Florian seems to be pushing away a bit from these guys, but not as hard as Bruno, who is 2.6 seconds clear, 2.4 actually, which is really close. But here at the back of this straight, it's all really close to each other, both in pace and in level of fighting, level of skill. As Roger that is again defending the inside. Almost a little bit of contact there between the McLaren and the BMW. Which gives Clarence a really good view of this battle. And maybe a chance to get some positions. As Bonanza has found his way past Bignon. The only two Porsches on track fighting with each other. Lovely to see, but he is pulling away now. As these guys aren't pulling away from each other, they are still really close. Trying to find a gap. Marty seems to have a bit of a, or not as good of a run as he has wanted. Might be something for Clarence to get here, but not down into turn 1 into Cook's corner. Just way too fast. As there was almost a bit of contact there. Marty went a bit wide. And Clarence has got the position, it seems like he has. Amazing racing from the two drivers. But can Marty find his way back here? There might even have been a little bit of contact there. They are alongside. Marty does seem to have the run and he has the inside. But the Ferrari with the superior grip goes around the outside again. And this battle has allowed Ice to catch back up. Some great racing so far also between Mansik and Brown. Really close, just like these two. There's too much going on. I can't keep an eye on it all. If he gets a good run and a good slipstream, might be going for a move here. Florian Brown is defending, goes back to the racing line. Mansik looks to the inside but pulls out of it, thinks better of it, which is probably the smart option here. So great racing so far, and we're only just over 10 minutes into the race. As McDowell has made a mistake and Camaras is passed for P9, but McDowell's immediately putting the pressure on again. Track is getting better and better. We started off on a green track, we are currently on a fast track. Beta wide there from Mansik, lost a bit of time to Brown, but is still within half a second. Slipstreaming down the back straight, but also before Clarence behind Roger Dead. Looking towards the inside, going for it. Does he make it stick or do they stay side by side? There's maybe a little bit of contact there, but it's still side by side. No, he has got the position. Amazing move, amazing use of the slipstream there to get past, and now Roger Dead is hoping to find a little bit of a gap or a mistake from Clarence. Lots of battles going on currently, and at the front you just got Bruno with the fastest lap, a 2-minute .1 shilling. As there's also something going on here. Mensik looking down the inside of Brown, not making it, but this is really close between the two drivers. And there might be something happening here. As there is, Mensik has made to move. I didn't watch for a second and he is passed. Let's get a quick replay of that. What happens? Looks like Brown made a small mistake, went a bit wide, and that has allowed Mensik to go through, just waving on his way by, as it's still really close here. Also with Clarence right behind it, he has caught up as ice has gone a little bit wide there. And again we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars who are all within a second of each other. Look at this. This is amazing racing. And if you now find yourself thinking, I want this too, well, you can. You can join our Discord. I hope that exclamation mark legends, as you see on the screen, that should work. If it doesn't, I need to change it. And then you can join our races every Monday and not every Friday anymore, since the Friday season is done, but at least every Monday we have a race like this, as we have a move down the inside of the turn 4 of the Formula 1 layout by Clarence and Florian Brown. Doesn't seem to work. Florian still in front. I see we at least have a link. Now I'm just hoping that that link works. That would be perfect. If not, then I need to update the link. Clarence still looking for a gap, looking for that moment to get P3 after starting P7. As we are now 15 minutes into the race, let's have a look at our biggest winners and our biggest losers, as I see Roger Dead in the pits. As I see that Roger Dead has left. Well, that is one competitor less. Alright, as I said, let's look at the biggest winners and losers. The biggest winner at this point is Andrew Davidenko, going from P16 to P10. Currently 14 cars still driving. But from P16 to P10, that's a really good 15 minutes. And our biggest loser, well, we have not really a biggest loser. We have Brown, who has lost 1 position and who is currently in a really hard battle with Clarence. We have Ice, who has lost 1 position and who is in no man's land, it seems like. Bignon, also in no man's land, has lost 1 position. And KL has lost 1 position. The fastest speed in the speed. Ooh, this might be something, as Brown went a little bit deep. Switchback from Clarence. Can he make it stick? Looking down the inside here. It is possible. Side by side, Clarence has the inside for the next corner. But Brown has the better top speed here. As Clarence sticks his nose in and he makes it stick so far. That's a really nice overtake for P3. Really, really well done by him. As we are slowly starting to get a moment to take a deep breath, catch our breath again. We have not too many battles going on. The only battles going on is between Clarence and Florian. for P3, McDowell and Camaras for P8, and then a sort of battle between Mignon, Bonanza and Davidenko. So let's take another look at Bruno, who is almost 10 seconds ahead. 10 seconds in 8 laps, that is amazingly done by him. Really good start from him. Lost the position to Brown for a minute, but got it back. As I'm starting to see a battle. Something has happened. Gale has gone off track. What has happened to Gale? Ooh, losing the rear end is tow. Saving it really well and then needing to cut across the grass a little bit to make sure he doesn't get in anyone's way. Yes, Bruno is the only one doing 2 flat at this point. Looking at fastest laps, no. But looking at the last laps, yes. As there's another battle going on. Clarence is not done. He wants P2. He wants more and more and more. Trying to get past Anthony Mensick. Which also keeps Florian in the fight. Clarence is on a charge. I don't know what he had for dinner, but it is working for him. I want what he has had next time when I race, because it seems to work. 0.3 seconds is the gap. He is in the slipstream. Can he make a move going down into Stowe? No, it doesn't seem like that. But still really close, clearly putting the pressure on, looking for a gap, looking for that P2 so he can maybe get a little bit of free air and close the gap to Bruno. As it also seems to be a bit of a boring race for our steward of today, I wanted to say, but we have an overtake because of a mistake from Mensick. Clarence goes down the inside. Mensick tries to go around the outside, goes down the inside again, or looks down the inside, doesn't make it stick. Clarence is in front. Can he keep the position and can he maybe push a little bit towards Bruno? The gap is now 12 seconds. Another mistake from Mensick. Florian Brown looking to find his way past around the outside, doesn't work, switches it back to the inside, but Mensick keeps it on the inside line. Some good defending, but this does give Clarence the chance to push away and almost get a gap of 1 second already. Now it's time to see what the pace of Clarence really is. Now he's gone out of the dirty air and he finally has some clean air ahead of him. As Mensick also seems to be pushing away a little bit again from Florian Brown. Now, what I was saying, it seems to be a boring race for our steward as well, as we have only gotten 2 contacts, and this is the second one. That was it? Well, not too much going on there. as Mensing is clearly pushing a little bit to try and keep up with Clarence again, and Bruno is just ahead of that, not worrying about a thing, only worrying about his engine. And now why does Bruno worry about his engine? Let's try to work with him so you can hear it. The really fast, aggressive downshift that Bruno does, which needs to be done in this car, to be honest. That is really dangerous for the engine if you do it too aggressive, too hard. Riding on board with him, going down into Stoke corner. Do I have a sensitive mic? I'm sorry. I should get a new one soon. Let's hope it's a little less sensitive then. As all the battles have quieted down a bit, it's a bit calmer on track. Yes, you could have, Marcy. I could have driven and still Stewart with so little incidents. Yeah, that's the problem with a small group, and most of the drivers are regulars, so it's pretty clean then. Wow, that's an enthusiastic move which did not work. McDowell tried to go around the outside of Camaros, went too deep in that move, didn't make it stick. As we do see Florian Braun within 3/10 from Mensik for P3 for the last podium position. Let's see if he can get something out of that. Meanwhile, Clarence has pushed away from these two drivers, gap of 2 seconds behind, and last lap he was 1/10 faster than Bruno. So if he can find a little bit more pace, there might be a fight for P1, as there's also a fight going into Maggots and Baggots for P7 between the Mercedes and the BMW. Really close to each other, but because of the dirty air it's just really hard to follow through this whole section, which is also what makes this track a little bit difficult to overtake at sometimes. It's a really nice track to drive, but overtaking can be hard, especially since you've got those sections where you really need to grip, and then a straight where you need to be close to get the slipstream. As this is an example of this, McDowell goes too wide there, just washes out wide, as something has happened here. What has happened? Oh, there was a mistake from Mensik it seems like, and Florian Braun has the position now as P3. Well, do you want to take the fastest lap away from Bruno, Marcy? That is the question. Oh, nope. I stand corrected. The fastest lap is now from Clarence, 2.00.097. which is in the last lap 8 tenths faster than Bruno in P1. So if Clarence can keep this up for another hour, there might actually be a fight for P1. That would be pretty nice. Bit of a moment there from the BMW of Jason McDowell. Still searching for a gap behind Cameras to get P7. But we also see Nick Ice from Lizard Racing Team closing up to Marty Fox in the battle for P5. Not a lot going on. Most of the cars are just just chilling behind each other, passing the time a little bit. Cool livery for McDowell. Yeah, it is. It really is. It's the Walkenhorst Motorsport livery from, I don't know what year. I'm honestly guessing this year because I didn't, or 2025, because I didn't really see it a lot. Or I can't remember it from before that in game. But it is a really nice livery. We also had someone else, I don't really remember the name, but someone else using it in other races. Was he's really close going into maggots and baggots, but then again the same problem as he has had for the last, I don't know how many laps. Dirty air. As he is, that has been less of a problem now, it seems like, because he's 1/10 behind in slipstream. Looking to the outside, but there's no room there, keeping it behind, but there is something going on between Gale and Bonanza. Bonanza has made the move for P9, as McDowell is looking around the outside here, going into, I think this is Phil, but I'm not sure. Still staying behind. Gale also still behind. He is looking for a gap to get back past Bonanza. I'm going to stay with this fight for a bit since this is just really close. McDowell again looking around the outside and again going a little too deep to make it stick. That has cost him a little bit of time, but still within half a second. Still looking for a gap, for a place to overtake. But if he can't do it, he needs to try something else, which will be on strategy. There is no mandatory pit stop for this race, but most of the drivers will still need, or basically all of the drivers will still need to make a pit stop for fuel, as I think Marty just let him go there, but either way, nice move from Ice, coming out of Cops, going to maggots and baggots for P5, overtaking Marty Fox. Amazing move, amazing battle, as McDowell can't recreate that. Still really close. But yeah, as I was saying, there will probably need to be something done with the strategy here to make an overtake. It's pretty hard to overtake here around this track. So if you're stuck behind like this lap after lap after lap, you need to try something different. Go a lap earlier, do opposite of the car ahead, go a lap later. It doesn't matter, just do something different in the pit stop. And hope you can find your way past like that. As we saw McDowell going a little wide there, coming onto that small straight. Which, as he tries it around the outside again and again, just doesn't make it stick. But that going wide and that going off track does show another difficulty of this track, and that is the track limits. It's really easy to get track limits at some points, and if you get 3, you are on your limit. If you get another one after that, you have a drive-through, which is not what you want. This pit lane isn't necessarily too long, but it still sucks and it does cost you a lot of time. Currently just over half an hour in the race. Just under 1 hour to go. Track does stay fast a long time. As McDowell goes a little too hard on the apex, bounces out wide again. He needs to watch out for those track limits. He will get a drive-through if he keeps this up. He will get a drive-through if he keeps this up. Oh. McDowell again looking around the outside, not making it, going for the switchback. Not enough room there. As Marcy has made a great point in chat. You only want to drive through after the race to get fast food. Yes, I agree with that. I really do. Maybe someone needs to tell McDowell that he needs to wait for after the race to get the drive-through. Because at this point he will get one during the race. As the battle for P3 is still going on between Mansik and Brown. The gap is currently 0.4 of a second going into lap 17 of this race. Clarence has been pushing a little bit, edging away from these two guys and edging ever closer to Bruno in P1. Gap now 11 seconds, 10, somewhere between the 10 and 11 seconds. It changes a bit, but it seems like Clarence is just a little bit faster than Bruno. Last lap he gained 0.3 of a second. Maybe something will change there in the second stint when Clarence gets fresh tires again, because he has used a lot of his grip and a lot of his tires in the battles, which put him into P2. Now, Raymond, don't get scared, I'm gonna cough again. I warned you this time, don't get scared, please. As we see Davengo and Bignon fighting, Bignon going a bit off track there. No problem, man. Still lots of battles going on. Also Bonanza has caught up to the battle of McDowell and Camaras now. Is my coughing that loud? Or is my mic that loud? I might mute my mic next time when I cough. If I do this, do you guys hear this? because if not, then I will use that next time if I come, because I will do that more this race more times. No, no, it should be back. It should be back, otherwise I'm in trouble. McDowell going too wide again. No noise. Oh, okay. I got scared for a second. You scared me back. I deserve that. I deserve that. Bonanza now really close to McDowell. McDowell needs to defend Bonanza. Amazing straight line speed going into Stowe, is already ahead of the braking zone. Amazing move by him, just small mistake from McDowell, and Bonanza was like, yep, this is my chance, my time, going for it, see you later. Really well done by him. As I have to say, Marcy, you chose the best race to be stewarding. We are currently almost 40 minutes into the race, and the last contact was, when was it? It's 13, almost 14 minutes into the race, as, oh, Camaros makes a mistake now. Bonanza around the outside, makes it stick, goes up into P7. But does McDowell get a run here because of the mistake? He is ever so close. Looks to the outside, go to the inside. Doesn't go for it. Sticks behind. And he goes to the pits. He goes to do something different with strategy. Goes for the undercut, boxing earlier. With that, getting fresher tires and trying to make that work. Or trying to use the fresher tires to push a little bit harder and then be in front after the pit stop. Yes, join our Discord, use !legends. Which is yeah, on the right hand side of your screen, just underneath our logo, although I might change the position of that because it seems to be a little bit in the way of the track map, but that is something that I will look at a little bit later. The only real fight currently going on track is between Mansake and Brown for P3, which does give me the chance to go through some really cool facts about the it's getting late. The Silverstone circuit, which I prepared earlier today because I wanted to do a little bit of information. Now the Silverstone circuit is of course a racing circuit in England, as I stop with my facts as Clarence goes into the pit lane. Come on guys, give me a break. I want a moment for my facts. I want a moment to talk about the track and all that kind of stuff. I don't get a break. Mansik and Brown side by side coming out of Megan's Baggett's. Side by side going towards Stowe. Mansik on the inside, but can Brown hang it around the outside? Yes, he can. Keeps it on the track. Nicely done. As we all also see Gale close behind Camaras, looking for P7 on track at this point. McLaren's just out of the pits. He has been standing still for 36 seconds, so there might have been a little bit of damage repair there. But might not. We don't know. Mansik still behind. 0.3 seconds is the gap. As they both go a little bit deep. And we have our leader of the race, Bruno Longarera, in the pits. Haven't spoken a lot about him, but he's just way too far ahead. This is the smart thing to do for him. This way he covers off the undercut from the Clarence, who is just coming into the final sector. Now the gap was too big for an actual undercut, but of course it's nice to have that security, to have that sense of safety, as Bruno is starting to drive again. Let's see what the gap will be when they are out of the pit lane. Still a pretty big gap. Gap seems to be about 12 seconds right now, but Clarence has more temperature in the tires and has more momentum at this point, so it might come down a little bit. The gap is still 12 seconds. Closing to 11 now. As here we are on board with the very loud McLaren. Looking back at Mansik in the BMW. Currently for P1 on track, virtual P3. Bruno might have traffic. He will have traffic. Great shout. Great shout there, Marcy. Bruno is 1.3 seconds behind Bignon right now. This is going to cost him some time if he needs to overtake these guys on track. Especially if these guys start fighting. Which they don't really seem to be doing. Mansik is into the pits. Ooh. Bignon went out of the way, nice and clean. That doesn't seem to be too big of a hold up for Bruno. Cameras also into the pit lane. Same call goes for Davidenko. That's a difficult name for me apparently. So that means that Clarence has no traffic at all. And Bruno had a little bit, and he might have some traffic in the shape of Gale in his McLaren. Who seems to be racing for someone, and I just noticed this and I do want to mention it. The team name or the livery name for Gale's car seems to be RIP Gatsby 28/12/2002 to 14/6/2026, so that would have been yesterday. Of course, I don't know what happened there, but my condolences, and I'm sure that I'm not speaking for myself only in that case, as this is a lovely way to remember people, especially if they love racing, as we saw a couple of weeks ago. As we also see Florian in the pits now. This might be interesting with Mensik. Where is Mensik? Mensik is just coming into the final few corners. Mensik has spun it. Oh no. That is costing him some serious time. He has looped the car around going into Brooklands. Question mark. I think it is Brooklands, but I'm not sure. Florian is out of the pits. How much did Mensik lose with this? The gap seems to be 4 seconds. As there has been a contact between KL and McDowell. Apparently, what has happened there? Oh, KL lost the car, went straight into McDowell. That is an unfortunate one. That is a really unfortunate one. But that does give our Stuart Marcy something to do right now. As Camaras overtakes Bignon on pit exit, and Gale has had some sort of moment. Quick yellow flag for him. Might have been a Marshall overreacting, that also sometimes happens. Sometimes marshals are a bit too happy with waving the flags. As I have heard from the steward of today that the incident we just saw is no further action because of the circumstances and the fact that KL waited to give the position back. New leader in the race, Nick Ice. Still needs to make a pit stop. When he makes a pit stop, it will drop him back out of the lead again. I must say I really like this livery that that Ice has. Ooh, bouncing a bit on the grass there. Taking a lot of risk. What happened to Bella? Well, what happened to Bella? Bella is stewarding today. He is just watching the race from his boat. And having so much to do with this far. 3 contacts in the race. 3 whole contacts in this race. As there has been a penalty, but not by Bella. It is a penalty for Fiesta Bonanza getting a 30-second stop go for speeding in the pit lane. Not ideal. But no, yeah, stewarding happened to Bella. A really boring race to steward, as the track has gone optimum. I missed that. The track has gone optimum, and Clarence has immediately found a little bit of pace and decided to be the first driver going under the 2-minute mark. Last lap gained 2 tenths on Bruno. The gap is still 10 seconds. So he needs to find a lot more pace or a lot more mistakes by Bruno to get in the fight for P1. And if Bruno can just keep it clean, no mistakes, keep his car on track and pointing the right direction, as I don't want to commentators curse anyone, of course. But it seems like Bruno has got a pretty steady P1 here. Stewarding should get a 10-second time penalty for stealing Bella. I don't know if our steward can do that. As Clarence is currently stuck behind Gale, showing his nose, not going for it. the, the, the steward can do it. We see that yeah, Marcy Bella has received a 10-second time penalty for stealing himself, I guess. As Clarence goes around the outside of Gale and gets P4 on track. But as it stands, both Ice and Marty still need to make another pit stop. And there we are over halfway. Are they trying a one stop? Or are they just extending their stints? Because if they are trying a one stop this race, they might actually get it, because Bruno is 29 seconds behind Marty. And 35 seconds behind Ice. Will they pit now that I've said this, or are they actually trying a one stop? I don't know, I am interested to find out. It would be an amazing and a really bold strategy, but it could work. Right. Now that there seems to be a bit more calm here on the racetrack, I have more facts. Because last time that I tried to do this, I didn't get any further than Silverstone is a track in England, which I guess everyone knows. Silverstone is a circuit in England near the Northamptonshire villages of Silverstone and Whittlebury, which I honestly didn't know, but is cool to know if you ever go to England. If not, well, then you don't have a lot. The information isn't necessarily interesting to you, but I thought it was interesting. What is interesting is the fastest times. As speaking of fastest times, Bruno has set a new fastest time in this race. And he has traffic from... Oh, Marty has gone into the pit. Why does everything happen at the moment that I try to do something? These racers have no respect for the commentators. None. No respect. Well, as Bruno goes past that is Biondo, and Bignon is a yellow flag. What has happened to him? Let's have a look. Yep, just went into the grass, looped the car. That is really unfortunate, but that does happen. Right, let's quickly get these fastest lap times in before something else happens. Fastest lap time in our race which is set by Bruno, is a 1:59.5 at this point. Fastest lap times qualifying in real life was set by Sandy Mitchell in the Lamborghini Hurricane Evo GT3 in 2022 British GT, and it was a 1:56.765. I can't do those lap times. In a race it was set this year actually by Ben Barnicoat in the McLaren 720S GT3 Evo, again in the British GT, and it was a 1:57.730. Now that is a little bit closer to the lap times I can do, but that is only with low fuel. Another thing that I personally find really interesting about this track, as you guys are Clarence went faster, but Bruno went even faster. They are starting to push for the lead, and I can't keep up because I'm trying too much at the same time. Alright. What I personally find really interesting, as Cameras is a yellow flag. Come on, guys, give me a break. There's a lot happening here, and I can't do what I want to do. Well, let's try and see if we can get a later moment for these effects, because every time I try to do them, something happens. But we try, I'll get there. I'll get there sometime. Don't worry, we will get some facts and some stats from the race, at least stats. As we see, currently the biggest winner of this race is still Davydenko, gained 5 positions. After that it's Ice, but he still needs to make pit stop. And after that it's Clarence with 4 positions, which will be 5 after Ice has made his pit stop. Now the fastest... That's not the track. Whoa! Oh, oh, oh. Let's quickly see how close that was for Gale. Oh, 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 oh. Wow. Oh. What? Yes, ground. Now Dango gained 6 positions now. Because of that spin of Mignon. Clarence gained 4, will be 5 when Ice makes his pit stop. The biggest losers of this race so far. Mensik down into P6, which is because of course he had a spin, but I think he had another moment because he's also behind Marty Fox. And that same Marty Fox has the fastest time in the speed trap with 255 kph. Right behind him in the speed trap is Florian Brown with 145, and then we have Clarence with 135 together with McDowell. Mensik also has 145. So Bruno had a moment. I keep missing things. He has lost a little bit of time indeed. But he's still 11 seconds ahead of Clarence. Although this lap he must have lost a little bit if he had a moment. Nope, because Clarence also lost time. So he still... No, he lost a little bit, but not too much. He lost 5 tenths. It is getting late. Bignon really close to Davydenko at this point. And the only real battle on track, it seems like. Ooh, almost pushing too hard there. Let's quickly listen in on the Porsche sound. Oh! Well, that is... that is something to do for you, Marty. Have fun. Oh. That's also not ideal. Yes, I still need to pit. But as we quickly look at KL here, going a little bit on the grass, under braking, bouncing, spinning it around and going again. Oh, that's another retirement. Yes, I still need to pit, but his pace, as Florian is at the moment. What has happened to Florian? Oh. Oh. Oh, there he is again. Some connection issues. No, back on the topic of I.O. More than some connection issues, also some grip issues apparently. And some really unfortunate switching of cameras. And Camaras, who is also close behind McDowell. No, I still need to pit, but I kind of suspect he's going for a one-stop. His pace isn't amazing. Normally, I think he's a little bit faster than this. But I know for a fact that that Lamborghini is really good on the fuel. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had a switch to a driver that perfect. That was a great timing. But yeah, I think he's on a one-stop to be honest. Just... Ooh, that's close. It is deadly on the tires, but if he can make it on fuel and just takes it calm and doesn't spin like he did there, he might get it. The gap to Bruno is 22 seconds. And last lap Bruno was only 5 tenths faster. Looking at fastest laps, yes, the gap is 1.3. Oh, no, I have... Okay. He is not going for a one-stop. Fastest lap so far is set by Bruno Longrera, and it is a 1:59.295. And he has just taken the lead because I decided that my theory wasn't good enough. Or he decided this spin was enough for my tires and I go get new tires now. Which could of course also be a possibility. But the real question is, will he be in front of Marty Fox? No, he won't. That is a quick answer. Yes, Bruno is faster at this point. Bruno is the fastest. At this point, looking at the fastest laps, as we are 32 laps into this race, more than an hour into the race now, nearing the end, the only two drivers who have had their fastest laps below the 2 minute mark are Bruno and Clarence, as there are some fighting going on, I wanted to say, but he was next to the track. But yeah, Bruno and Clarence, the only two drivers who has set laps below the 2 minutes, as Bignon has had a moment once again, which does show the great for yeah, to be honest, I think Bruno's just chilling at this point. He can be faster, I'm sure, but he has a gap of almost 15 seconds to P2, so I think he's just chilling, taking it calm, taking his time. He has the gap. He has no pressure. There's 22 minutes left, 15 seconds. So Clarence would need to Bruno tranquilo, indeed. It's getting late. I started throwing Dutch words in there. It's getting late. No, he's just taking his time. No need to push. The only one who can push now is Nick. Nick Ice. 1 second, 1.3 seconds. Bruno is maxing his chillaxing. Yes, he is. As Nick Ice is looking to get P4. Trying to gain some time on Marty Fox ahead. As I me Marty. Well, we will see if Marty can flee. And car number 35, which is James McDowell, gets a drive through the track limit, which, to be fair, was expected. He was next to the track a lot of times. And something unfortunate has happened here. Can we get a Oh! Just bouncing over the grass and the curbs, losing it at a really fast section. No one too close, luckily. As this is getting ever closer. Well, it seems like Nick has already got his tires in the window a little bit, as Nick is the third driver in this race to go below the 2 minute mark with a 1:59.522. That last lap he gained 6 tenths on Marty. Will Marty fight this, or will he just let it go? That is the real question. And I think we have our answer. He will let it go, as we see a flash from the lights from Nick, just saying thank you. Marty is looking forward, but then to the rear bumper of the Lamborghini. Eat the Lambo. Yeah, but it's... I mean, I get why you say that, but I like this livery too much to see it being eaten. Keep the Lambo alive for this livery. I like it. It's really well made. As the gap from Nick to Marty is already a second. Lizards taste. I have No experience with eating lizards, so I wouldn't know. But if you say so, then yeah, lizards taste good. Good seasoning. If you season something good enough, it will always taste nice. As I will quickly do this, and with that I should hopefully post a link in chat. Yes. If you are watching this and you are thinking, I like this racing, I want to join, click that link, join the Discord, and come have fun with us. Come have some fun with us, racing every Monday, a 90 minutes race on a track chosen by the community and a track vote. Now I will quickly have a look if the next track vote is already live. No, it's not. But I have some inside information on the next track vote, which it might be. As it looks right now, or there need to be some final changes made, but as it looks right now, we have Indianapolis, Alton Park, and we will create chaos with this, with every track we choose here. Monza. No, not Bathurst. We already had that one at the start of the season. Would be chaos, yes, but no. As here we have our race leader again. Bruno still in the lead, 18 seconds to Clarence in P2 and 33 seconds to Florian Braun in P3. As I just caught my eye on something, and that is that Nick Ice is just flying, it seems like, towards the rear end of this guy, Florian Braun. Nick Ice might be able to get a podium here. He might be able to get P3. Last time I checked, the gap was over 4 seconds. It's now less than 2 seconds. Last lap he gained 1.3 seconds. Will we get a late podium change as we see KL next to the track again? Let's have a quick look. Again, Maggots and Baggots again. The curbs? Nope. Yes, kind of. Slid away over the curbs, went to the grass, completely lost it. That is unfortunate and an easy way to lose the car here. And also a really scary way. Gale, same part of the track, doing almost the same thing. Seems to be a hard part for those McLaren drivers. Let's hope it's not that hard for Florian, so he can keep Nick Ice behind for the last 14 minutes of this race. As I also quickly want to show this chaos. As Bruno has to go around the outside of Bignon. Ooh. As Bignon almost goes into the back of Bruno. Well spotted there by Bruno. He should have taken the OnlyFans delivery, I do agree with you, but he didn't. As Ice has decided that he wants the podium. Last lap set the fastest lap of the race with a 1:28.9 to a 58. 28 would be incredibly fast. Another yellow. Menzik is at the moment bouncing a lot. Is the first driver to go below the 1:59 second mark. Or the 1:59 minutes going around the outside here of Florian, making it stick. Florian looking towards the inside, not going for it. That late pit stop really worked out for him. Way fresher tires now, as we see a penalty coming in for Bignon, so something has happened there. There was another contact. So let's have a look at that. Oh, that was this contact, yes. I remember. Brown still close behind Nick, hoping to get P3 back, but as it seems, I think Nick will just push away. Over a second a lap faster it's at this point, so that seems like a pretty secure podium to me. Yes, that was great timing that I saw that. That was really close too. And I think a really deserved penalty. As I'm going back to Bruno because he's still in traffic. Still looking to find his way past now by Davidenko. Davidenko does it down the inside there. As he has left P9, next one in front of him will be Gale. Right there. Good thing Marcy got the 10 seconds, yes. Marcy got the 10 seconds, or I should say it like, I will read back. The stewarding should get a 10-second penalty for stealing Marcy. Which is well done. Bruno now looking to find... yes, Marcy got stolen by the stewarding. By the stewarding team, so he couldn't drive this race. As KL seems to be struggling with Maggots and Baggots. Just too fast in here, losing it again on the grass, on the bumps. Marcy's too fast, is not allowed to drive anymore now. We love you, Marcy. Don't worry. Who do you want to give a penalty to? Maybe I can do it for you. As it's 9 minutes left in the race, Bruno still in the lead, 17 seconds to Clarence in P2, 12 seconds behind that is Nick Ice in P3. That is a pretty decent race since he started from P5. So it has been an amazing race, really clean race. Looking at all the contacts we had this race, we really needed a steward for this one. We had four contacts. So our steward Marcy has had the best, most busy race of his life, of course. Florian in P4, Marthy in P5 doing well. Yeah, I don't think any of us expected this race to be this. Oh no! Oh no, no, no! That is the end of the race for Clarence. Nick P2, Clarence P3, Florian might still get P3, Marty might still get P4. Oh, yeah, oh. No caps apparently. I will try and change that soon, don't worry. I will try and change that, as that is clearly the end of the race for Clarence. Oh no! I will try and get a replay of that after the race, if I can, but that is so unfortunate. Yeah, that's the end. You see him twitching through every corner. That's the end. Probably some suspension damage there. But at least a lot of damage on the rear. Oh. You you mildly escalated there, okay. As we might still get a fight for P3 in the last 6 minutes of the race. Marty Fox is only a second behind Florian Brown now. This might get spicy. This might get spicy still for P3. Oh, ooh. The gap 1 second still. Last lap, Marty gains 3/10, as we have an explanation of what happened to Clarence. He hit the first right corner out of the S's and the rear completely came around. It was so quick, nothing you can do. Which is something that happens really quickly here. One small mistake, you lose the car and you're in the wall. Really unfortunate accident, so at the end of the race. And a really easy mistake to make, of course. As we see Marty just pushing ever so slightly closer to the back of Florian Brown. Gap is 0.6 of a second now. With 4.5 minutes remaining, he might still get a podium here. Bruno has just crossed the line, so there will be, I guess, 2 more laps after this. Maybe even 3. Go Marty, do an om. Come on, man. Don't lose the rear end like that. You don't want that, you don't need that. Quickly go on board with him. Oh, that is a bit unfortunate and time costly. Going into Megas and Megas now. This is the dangerous part. Really fast here, flat. Slight tap on the brakes, downshift here on the brakes again, and the downshift again, going down into 3rd gear. then flat out again, trying to go as wide as possible, maximizing the exit for this long straight down into Stowe corner. Braking somewhere between the board and the curb, going down into second or third gear, could be both. Trying to use as much of the curbs on the exit. Again braking, switching down to first, losing the rear end a bit there. Now just past the Formula 1 pit straight, going into the corners, which I don't even think has a name. You normally try to be as close as you can to the sausage curbs here, but you don't touch them, or at least that's what I try to do. As Marty has touched it there, that always unsettles the car a little bit. Still 0.9 seconds behind. Really fast into here. Try to trail brake, try to hit the apex there. Marty missed it, has a bit of a moment on the rear. And this corner I never really quite understand. Lorian has decided to use extra defensive mechanisms and use the big red sausage curbs against the BMW M4. This defense was successful. Last corner, extremely deep and very late apex. We get some advice here as Gale has had a little off-track moment. Let's have a look at that going into Formula 1 turn 1. I don't know what corner it is in this configuration of the track. Wow, well held. Well held. I thought the car was gone. As the leaders on the final lap. I already got that message before the leader was even across the line. How does that work? Well, that's fine. Let's just drive along with him here. Started pole position. Lost P1 at the start. I got it back later in lap 1. And decided to just not lose it anymore. Of course in the pit stops he lost it a little bit, but that's fine. He gained it all back. All he needs to do now, and I again don't want to put the commentator's curse on him because I would feel really bad. All he needs to do now is drive the final 2 sectors, 1.5 sector really cleanly and calmly, and he has it to finish first. First you have to finish. As Antelope said, I don't know who you are, so I'm just gonna call you Antelope. I'm probably pronouncing even that wrong, but I don't care. As Bruno enters the final sector, the final few corners. Oh! Hey! I did not know that. Welcome. I did not know that. Welcome. Final corner for Bruno as he takes, I don't know, even if this is his first victory, it might be, it might not be, but he takes P1. here at the Monday Marathon Silverstone. He finishes the race in P1, well deserved. In P2 we have an amazing driver in an amazing sounding car, and that is Nick Ice, got from P5 to P1, or P2 I should say. Wow, really well done, really great last stint after his spin. Then right behind that we have Florian Brown in P3, and very close, just a second behind him, Marty Fox in P4. Great drive from both drivers. Marty obviously happy with it, with his weaving. Then we go to Mansik. Nick Ice being on fire despite of the name. Completely agreed. Mansik going through the last corner for P5. And the oh so unfortunate Clarence. He could have gotten P2, but a late race crash means that it's only P6 for him, which is so unfortunate, as I hear donuts. Cameras coming out of the last corner, the last one to finish this race. P7. Very happy with it. Now it is time for our driver of the day, which is definitely Bruno Longoria. Really well done, P1. Yeah, just an amazing race. Fastest lap is a 1:58.957 for Ice in P2. Nick Ice being on fire, as we said, and Clarence in the end got the car home despite his big crash. I will still try and see if I can get a quick replay of that moment. I do not have the whole race, that's great. Let's have a look. No, well, speaking of, here it is. Just overpushed it a little bit, lost the rear, and fall really hard into the wall. Super unfortunate, but yes, that happens, and yes, that is part of racing. So, thanks everyone for watching. I really enjoyed it today. My throat hurts, so I'm going to drink some water. Thanks everyone for watching. We will be back, I guess, next week. We will see, I don't know. But I'm guessing next week on Monday again for whatever track we have then. Now, once again, if you want to participate in these races and you aren't currently in our Discord, I will do it one more time. As it says on screen, !legends. I'm guessing most of the people here are already in the Discord, but still, if you think this is fun, I want to do this more often, please have a look around. And I will see you guys later. Have an amazing rest of your day, night, whatever it is. Bye bye guys.